Well, 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 happy birthday, America. You know, look a day over the bicentennial, if I do say so myself. So how about we do a little Star-Spangled Showdown between two of Rhythm Brewing's flagship lagers. I got these from my man Antron out at the Craft Crew up in Connecticut because, you know, they're a New Haven product. So why don't I turn back the clock to some earlier days and see which one reigns supreme, stars or stripes? Let's do it right after the theme song. Back to the temporary upstate oasis with yours truly, Nutmeg 2 Palmetto, and I'll tell you a little story real quick about Rhythm Brewing. So 5 years ago, before Nutmeg was even a thing, Connecticut had the brewery passport where you would go around, you get the breweries to give their stamp on their logo, and you would turn that into the Brewers Guild for a ticket to the festival. I did not make it to that festival. Thanks, COVID. Anyway. No, that's just for a fact. I don't actually have it. Not that anyone's afraid of that anymore, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so I did not make it to that festival, and I never actually made it to Rhythm Brewing because they did not have a storefront at the time. I'm not 100% sure if they have one now or if they're still a contract brewer, but at the time they did not have one, so we weren't actually able to get the stamp for Rhythm, so I was never actually try them. So this whole influencer YouTuber thing starts, and I noticed the owner of Rhythm, very, very nice lady. She was very active with all the influencers, and I was like, Rhythm. I keep seeing Rhythm. I was like, I never got a chance to try this, and then I moved, and you know, that sort of thing. So, but now I have the chance, thanks to my main man Antron of the Craft Crew. I'll tag them below. You can check out their channel as well as their other content as well on Instagram and TikTok. However, he was nice enough to send me one of each of their flagship lagers because Rhythm takes lager seriously. So we will go to Untapped for blue. This is an American lager at 4.8, 2,249 check-ins, 2,074 unique, 1,852 rankings, above my Mendoza line of 3.55. Obviously, lagers don't get a ton of love on Untapped, so we'll take that with a grain of salt. And if I figure, like, if a lager on Untapped is above my Mendoza line, that means it's probably pretty good. The beer that flows, all caps. This American Style Unfiltered Lager combines uniquely paired hops and malts, brewed with a smooth, crisp, clean finish. A new taste of lager Rhythm Blue. Now the red one is just their unfiltered lager, and that checks in slightly higher at 5.5%. 1,033 total check-ins, 937 unique, of which 812 are ranked. 3.53, so slightly lower than the other one, but still right in that same ballpark. This American Style Lager combines uniquely paired hops and malts, brewed with a smooth, palate-pleasing, full-flavored taste. A lager unfiltered, we keep the goodness in. So, and unlike my last Showdown, which probably would have made a lot more difference then because they were IPAs, I made sure I brought a palate cleanser. So, what do you say we start off red or blue, huh? It's like playing Halo, red or blue, right? So, they both list themselves an unfiltered lager, although the blue one lists themselves as an unfiltered light lager, as the ABV is known. Find your rhythm with each sip is their tagline. Rhythm and Rhyme Brewing Company, the beer that flows on both. And I think those are the same bios that we saw on Untapped. There's nothing else on the side besides Surgeon General's warning. Nice little saying on the bottom. Find your rhythm something else, but I don't know what that is though. It just says find your rhythm on the bottom. So why don't we say we do with the super light one first, huh? Blue it is. Let's get you some ASMR. Ooh. Ooh, that was very aromatic. Alright, let that settle down. Red one, ASMR time. Okay, it's got very similar aromatics. They're both very malty smelling beers. I know I've seen a couple of, I know the hard pour is pretty well accepted amongst the YouTubers, but I got a comment recently on Rumble about someone not understanding why we hard pour, and I don't know if what you necessarily bought my explanation, but it is a thing, and there is science behind it, so I don't want to hear it. But thank you for watching and commenting nonetheless. Engagement matters in this biz. So, what do we got color-wise on the blue? Kind of that pale straw, lemony yellow color, and pretty damn similar on the red one. Although it seems to be a little bit more darker. I don't want to say hazier, but has a little bit more of a cloudiness than the blue one. Aromatiques. Strong malt backbone. Actually, the aroma reminds me of something more of German or Dutch beer, a Heineken, a Beck's. Yeah, it's got that kind of more malt and barley type of aroma, as opposed to the red one. This one has more of a domestic aroma. You get more of that corn base, herbal, grainy, that sort of thing. So that very, very different aromas. Honestly, this one smells more like a European lager. This one smells more like an American lager. Who would have thought that was going to happen, right? So let's try the light lager first. Oh, it does not taste like a European lager. So at first, this tasted very much like American domestic. But next couple sips in, there's a bready, almost corn sweetness on the back. And it's still kind of light. It has, for a light lager, it's got more of a almost medium, full type of mouthfeel. It's got a nice sweet finish. But it's still light. It doesn't taste overpowering at all. So that's very good. I didn't know what to expect from the aroma, because like I said, it kind of smelled like a Dutch beer. Gotta cleanse because I'm a professional. Alright, this was the one that smelled like a domestic, so let's see if the inverse is true on the flavor, huh? A little bit, but not really. So they weren't kidding when this one said they said this one had a full body. It absolutely does. There's a little bit of a hop, citrus, grapefruity type of bite to it. There's a grainy bite on the back end. Yeah, it's funny, like this one definitely has more of a hop profile to it than the other one. The other one tasted like a lager. Now granted, it smelled like a different type of lager than it tastes, but everything was lager. Whereas the red one, it had more of that lager aroma, but there's a lot more hop profile, citrus, floral profile in the flavor. So very, very interesting juxtaposition, and it's not like picking a hair one over the other as far as like trying to figure out which one's this and which one's that, because they are both very, very distinctive flavors, and to that point also very, very distinctive aromatics. So again, I'm not sure if they've got their storefront open yet or they're just contract brew. I know they were doing some contract brewing out of Nebco or Two Roads, one of the two if I'm not mistaken. So if you're up in Connecticut, southern Connecticut specifically, keep your eyes peeled for Rhythm and grab one or both and do a little comparison on your own. So for me, I'm taking the blue. So Stars wins out over Stripes on this one. So go Betsy Ross, I guess. Cheers, friends. And cheers, America. See you next time.